Hi, everyone. Can you all hear me? Welcome to our Zoom visitors. Hi. I'd like to call to order the Fine Arts, Ad Hoc Fine Arts Committee regular meeting today. Welcome, everyone. May we please have a roll call, Michelle?
Sure. Chair LaPlante.
Here.
Member Hart.
Here.
Member Rutledge.
Here.
Member Selman. Here. Member Chavez and Member Garcia are absent.
Right.
Okay.
Yes. And I move to approve the minutes from our last Ad Hoc Fine Arts Committee, the regular meeting that was held on Tuesday, February 22nd, 2022.
Second.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Any against? Okay, that motion passes. Welcome. I'm so happy that you are here, Beth. You're perfect.
Oh, well, thank you.
Yes. Do we have any public comments?
No.
Okay, wonderful. Okay, so Chairwomen's remarks. First, I just want to say again, as always, hello and thank you to our partners, everyone on this committee. It's so good to see everyone, and I'm just so grateful that you're all willing to work with us as we do this really new and innovative approach to the arts in DuPage County. We're continuing to make progress with sponsorships and donors, and we're continuing to add performers to our very full lineup. It's really amazing. I'm having emails almost every day of people reaching out saying, hey, I heard about this, can I be involved? And it just gets more and more exciting. So I can't wait. At our next meeting, we will really line out everything so you can hear and see exactly how the schedule is going, but I'm thrilled. I could not be more thrilled. So it's all going very, very well. There's real interest in this initiative, and we are always welcoming aboard new participants and partners, and for that we are grateful. So let's move to our discussion right into the DuPage Community Arts Festival. Let's start by going around and seeing if anyone has updates from their districts. Yes, Member Selman.
So my subcommittee is the food one. Last week, Member LaPlante and I went to Jim's office and had a really great meeting. Lucky for us, if you remember, we'd already gotten a bunch of things sort of booked in the fall. So Jim has been working with all those individuals who had reached out and wanted to be vendors. Half of them, I think, reached out to Jim to make sure we were still, they were so excited and wanted to make sure they could still participate. So we have about 6 vendors from that. And then I've reached out to a number or 3 more to try to sort of just diversify the offerings a little bit. I've only gotten 1 no so far, which was only because they don't do the food truck part of their business anymore. But they were kind of bummed because they wanted to come hang out. So we told them, you know, come back next year.
For sure.
So I think we have a really good variety of different foods, so everyone kind of find something that matches the show they want to go see. And then I have a meeting next week for my sponsor solicitation.
Wonderful. And just to make sure everyone understands, we're really trying to do, with Jim's guidance, especially finding these higher end food vendors. So this is not, you know, street fair. It's not a corn dog on a stick. Nothing against corn dogs on sticks, but maybe not just for this particular event. So we are definitely matching the food to the art that is being performed and displayed that day. Beth, I will get you your own corn dog on a stick. I promise you. You've earned it. You've earned it.
No, I was just thinking, we had a meeting last week with Jeff Morrow, who's the Sandwich King, and he is bottling and jarring his own jardiniere out of the Culinary Pizza Kitchen Academy in Lisle. And he is now like our best friend. And I'm just thinking, like, Jerk's Pizza's there. I don't know, pizza's not really the Ravinia of what we're looking for, but I'm just throwing out, maybe there's another idea there.
Yeah,
That we could do something different.
absolutely.
Okay, I love
Like
it.
really fancy sandwiches or
Ooh,
something.
okay, all right, I like that.
Lady
That sounds good
fingers.
to me. Yeah.
What's that? Yeah.
Lady fingers.
Okay, moving on to District 2, Member Garcia is not here again, and I have not heard from her what she is interested in working on, but I'm hoping that soon she will let us know. Let's see, District 3, Mr. Hart.
Yeah, no, I have 2 meetings with potential sponsors lined up for this week and next week. So
Wonderful. Okay, can't wait to hear how they go.
update on the next meeting.
Okay, wonderful. I'm District 4, as you know. District 5, Member Chavez is out sick today. District 6,
Thank you. Working with Western DuPage Chamber to kind of test, pitch some of the businesses in the district
Yeah.
before they blanket everybody with that. So that should come probably next week.
Okay.
There was something else I wanted to tell you, and I don't remember what it was.
The arts will,
but-
right? You
I'm sorry?
said, you sent out the arts email.
Yes, thank you. And that just was coming to mind. Yeah, we sent out the arts email. I'll kind of clean up the list for the ones that are not, undeliverable. The ones that
Okay.
are undeliverable, I
Okay.
will send an edited list out so that we can keep track of who's responding, who's not. I do think that probably would be beneficial to send another, hey, I want to make sure you saw
Yeah,
this
absolutely. Yes.
midweek, because
Yep.
I discussed with Lynn that there is a whole lot of think tank
Oh,
about
right. So,
when to send emails.
right,
So I want that to go out this week.
Yep, for sure. We can definitely do that. And we're going to be following up anyway. That was the plan, is to follow up with phone calls. And I have definitely you on that list. Shannon, Ashley did offer. I will help as well. We're going to just sort of follow through and chase down some of those groups, but we've already gotten
The list
new
is
people.
established.
Yep,
so
we've
that's
already
good.
gotten new people on board. I also want to thank Choose DuPage. I think Greg Bedeloff will be joining us via Zoom when he's finished with his earlier meeting. But I do want to thank Choose DuPage because I was able to present at their board meeting last week and talk and give everyone an update about what we're doing here. And the response was extremely positive. You know what, let's do powerful in there too. I'll take
I'm
it.
liking that.
But the response was terrific and a lot of enthusiasm and interest. So we are cultivating and following up on those leads as well. So they're just a terrific partnership, and so that's very helpful. Okay, so let's see. I am looking, if you want, the call for artists is out. Like we said, the portal is open for applicants on the DuPage County Fair Association's website. You can find this information by going to the county fair's calendar of events. Then you click on the date and there it all is. And that's where the portals are for, hello, thank you for joining us. This is one of our new artists. Joining us, you can see there's the applications for food vendors, I believe, and art vendors, and then just general information. We're going to keep updating that as we tweak everything. So that's going to be sort of that landing page. Our plans for the VIP event on Friday evening are coming along very, very nicely. The event begins at 6 p.m. and lasts till 8:30. This event is open to sponsors, donors, and community organizations and community leaders that are involved. So this is a way of saying thank you and kicking off the festival. We're limiting the event to approximately 150 guests, and we're going.
Sorry.
Why is that so funny? Is it
Because
gonna
I
be
sent
fun?
you a list of, 400 people.
Oh. There's a chance that maybe that will grow. Maybe that will grow.
Well, you can always say, limited to 150 first RSVP. or,
That's
you know,
right.
a little
Or if
the more
there's, you never
desirable.
know, the more
Speaking
helpful.
of.
Speak of the devil. Not that you are the devil. You are an angel and an angel of the arts, Greg Bedeloff. Welcome. Yes, we're just talking about the VIP event and how that is all shaping up very nicely. And then we're going to plan the marketing campaign to really kick off after spring break. People are traveling. No one's really focused yet until they get a little vitamin D in their system and come back to town all happy and cheery, and they're going to want to hear about this. So everyone is going to be involved in this marketing campaign. All of our community partners will be contributing to this marketing effort. And then we are definitely going to ask for every single committee person to be sharing this on your personal social media pages and getting it out into your own districts. And that's how we're going to get the best turnout. And Beth, would you like to speak to that? Because you just sent that email over. Would you like to talk about that now? Some of the
You're gonna give me
marketing?
the floor, okay.
Yes.
So I sent an email to the county board members this morning or shortly afternoon. So everything's getting sent to the URL that you mentioned.
Yep.
So I just wanted to say that here's the things that the CVB is pushing out. So our April 1st e-blast will go to all of our leisure opt-ins, which is about 6,000 people. April 15th, we're gonna do an e-blast to the tour and travel operators because there will be bus groups that come in and are interested in doing this.
Great.
So that's about 500 of Midwest tour operators. We're gonna be promoting this at Circle Wisconsin, which is one of the operator shows that we go to. This is at Mall of America in Bloomington, Minnesota. Angela in our office has 43 appointments, an average trade show appointments about 30. So we have a lot of interest because it's Chicago, but not really Chicago.
Yes.
We have put it on the Enjoy Illinois website, which is the state's travel site. We are right now putting it on our event page, which has about 35,000 unique visits per month to the event page. We are pushing this out to the National Travel and Tourism Week campaign on May 5th, which is Cinco de Mayo, which is the Alebrejas
Yes.
event at
Yes.
Cantini that we're having.
And can you speak to that really quickly about how lucky we are that we're going to be able to preview?
Right,
And you
so-
and maybe Jim wants to jump in?
Sure.
on that?
So at Shoes DuPage last week, Sarah and I presented just to talk about Alebrejas, the Creatures of a Dream World, and Sarah agreed to give us one of the smaller sculptures at the fairgrounds so that we can kind of cross promote art in general for DuPage County. And I know we saw the Andy Warhol
Mhm.
exhibit on Saturday, or at least kickoff of the media day. So there's a lot of really
Exciting
good
stuff
tie-ins
there,
with all
yeah.
the art.
Yeah.
Is that what you were asking?
It is, so that we're going to be able to, because part of what we want to do is make sure that other arts organizations that are holding their events, we're helping them. That's the whole point, is that we can use this platform to amplify their upcoming events. And so by being able to preview what's going to be happening at Cantini, will be, we get to share in the beautiful art at our arts festival and hopefully draw and direct an audience to go to their event when it happens just a couple weeks later, right? 1 week, 2 weeks?
June.
20-something, I thought.
Yeah.
Sorry, what was that, Jim?
It opens a week later.
Yeah, a week
Oh, there you
later,
go.
yeah.
Perfect.
So Jim has been so nice to store some of the, because they're really large. Jim, do you want to describe some of the artwork?
We don't have it on grounds yet. It'll be coming in the first week of April. Once it arrives here, they're going to be assembling and touching it up and painting some of it before it moves over to Cantini.
Okay,
That's where we made that talk to them about having a piece or two here at the fairgrounds for part of our event to showcase art.
okay, wonderful. Yes, can't wait to do that. I think it's a great crossover.
We've been working with the Mexico City Tourism Board too, and those artists are coming as we speak. There's 6 of them staying in our hotels, so.
Wonderful.
That's great.
And do you think they would be, will they be in town then during our Arts Fest?
They will,
So
and
we
we
can-
could invite them. We could
Let's
add to
invite
the
them,
list.
absolutely. Add them to our list. Okay, so yeah, we're gonna blow through that 150.
I know, I just said I have 400
No.
people on that list, so.
So just get ready, Choose DuPage. It's, you know,
To rebrand it.
Remember-
Exclusive.
Remember though,
They're always printing more of it, especially lately.
but remember you could invite 1,000 people and then maybe, what's the rule of thumb, 30% show
it's
up?
exactly right. That's what we said, plan it like a wedding,
Yeah.
right? So,
Although
Yeah.
wedding planners now say the response rates are close to 90 because everyone's excited to do stuff. So
Oh.
you might end up with.
Great.
Better to like keep writing your-
yeah,
I'm gonna keep going. I
Yes, please.
contacted the Illinois Arts Alliance. I left a
Okay.
message, so
Great.
we're on that. We do, Jim, we wanted to talk to you about if people want to leave and come back, do we want to do a stamp? Do we want to do a bracelet? Do you have any suggestions on that?
I think a stamp is fine. I think a stamp works out better than a bracelet. It's easier and it's effective. It works.
okay.
So I'll work on that
Great.
with a stamp pad. And I think, oh, that was my question. How many exits will is there one exit, one egress, one ingress? So we,
Depending upon how we set the gate for it, we could either have one or we could have 2.
I'm gonna get to.
Okay, yes, perfect. Thank you, Beth.
We got a courtesy room block at Hotel Arista.
Wonderful.
They're almost sold out,
Oh,
so we need to get the names.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've got a few.
Okay, and I gotta confirm that with them.
Okay,
And then I had some suggestions just on some other marketing that we could do inexpensively, but we could talk about that later.
okay.
But those are all the things that I worked on. Oh,
Okay.
and we have to do a press release, I think. And we
Yes.
talked about possibly kind of a first one that talks about this and then a second one to really drive ticket sales.
Yes, perfect. Yes, that's wonderful. I love it. Thank you very much, Beth. Yeah, we'll really hit that marketing and some of that PR hard
Right.
in
After,
April. Mhm,
yeah, that makes sense.
for sure.
It used to
Okay.
be where people would plan out and now it's like with information overload, they plan a day before. sometimes.
It's true, especially as Jim says, when you're, yeah, that's how this is gonna usually play out on the fairgrounds. Greg, would you like to add anything? I told them about the Choose DuPage board meeting.
Yeah.
That was wonderful and
I mean, ditto, we're doing the email blast. I don't know what the schedule is, and ours is to the business community, obviously, and it's 7,000 businesses in our database, and we have a schedule on how that will go out. So happy to coordinate with Beth or whoever in terms of the social media and the marketing that we're doing as well, and then coordinating with you on kind of the VIP night.
okay. And then thank you, Greg. Is Joan dialed in for this meeting? Yes, is Joan Olson?
Yes, I am.
Hi, Joan.
Hello.
Would you mind explaining to us how the county will be able to market this and also push this initiative out, this event out?
My vision is that we would work closely with Beth's messaging. She's really the expert in the space of tourism and event messaging, but I would be happy to distribute it through our newsletter blast as well as our traditional press release channels. So of course, we also have social media, which we fully exploit similarly to Choose DuPage and the DCBB. I'd like to keep the messaging all the same and similar, using the same branding and look so that everything's consistent. With the county, we want to speak with one voice.
I totally agree. And a shout out as always to Macklin for their beautiful logos and designs. We will all have that cohesive look. It's already created. So we'll make sure to put all of our heads together when talking about the marketing in all angles.
Yeah, that sounds good. We're happy to distribute through our channels as well so that it sounds like we'll be well saturated.
Yes. Okay. Thank you so much, Joan. Beth, did you have something to add?
We do need to appoint one contact for interviews, or if it's Joan or if it's
Oh, like a
you.
press
Yeah.
contact.
Yeah,
Okay, we
Just
can,
think
for
about that.
sure. Yeah, we'll definitely discuss that. And okay. Anything else? Any other updates on?
I have a question. I don't know if
Okay.
it's been addressed already, and I don't know if it's a question for the committee or the staff or state's attorney. As we receive sponsorship dollars, because as you know, several
Right.
businesses have agreed to sponsor this.
Mhm.
The question that I'm being asked is, to whom do we write the check?
Mhm.
Because my assumption is we don't want it going to the county.
Right.
From
Nick,
a-
would you like to
Yeah.
take?
I can, we actually anticipated that with our agreement with the Fair Association. And so, and Jim, correct me if I'm wrong, how we're doing it is any of the donations, any of that will flow through the Fair Association, and then he's keeping a full accounting of it. And at the end, then there will be most likely if there's excess, it will come back to the county at that point. Jim, is that your understanding as well?
That is correct. And so far, that's exactly what we've done. We've added it into the account. Believe we've received 4 to date. And those have all been added into the account, and it's, fully accounted for and in location for it.
He's much more set up to handle, small donations, big donations, do the accounting, and then it'll just be one check back to the county at the end.
Okay, perfect.
DuPage County Fair Association.
Okay, would it be helpful if you had like a one pager of like, here's who the check, like kind of instructions?
No, I can, that's,
Okay.
yeah, but I can coordinate with Jim. So Jim, if checks have already been, because there's 2 that I can think of off the top of my head who have increased their contribution to Choose DuPage via a check with the express purpose of that incremental amount going towards the event. My assumption would then be that Choose DuPage would then write that check to the Fair Association?
Yeah, as long as you have it documented in your files
Yeah.
about why you do it, it's very clear, and you
Okay.
have something in the files that show that,
Okay.
then that would be a check from Choose DuPage to the Fair Association that You just gotta make sure that's well documented and that's the wish of the donors.
Okay, and then last question, Jim, from a Choose DuPage sponsorship perspective for the VIP night, my assumption is that was intended to go towards the performers, the costs, the food, the beverage associated with a Choose DuPage led event / board meeting, whatever we wind up doing. Is that a dollar amount specific, or can I just kind of reimburse for the costs associated? You know what I'm asking? Is it kind of like cost per head at a wedding, to keep using the wedding example, or is that a cash bar?
I think we have not said it's a cash bar. We have said that's going to be a private event where it's going to be catered and would not be a charge. So that's what we have to still work in the details of that. But my understanding of that event is that it is not a cash bar at all. That's going to be a catered event. And there's been some discussion on what type of food we want to present. And then what type of drinks, cocktails and stuff we want to have for the evening. So those have to be tuned in. And then that dollar amount would just be fully applied to that.
Got it.
And we can break all those costs right out.
Got it. Thank you.
Okay, so that answers
Yep.
all of that. Okay, great. Anyone else have any other, anything else to add to the discussion of the Community Arts Festival? Or more
Did
questions?
we determine when tickets are physically going to go on sale?
We talked about that was with you, right, Jim?
They're actually up on, I believe at this point, they're on the website. So if you want to purchase a ticket, you could on our page.
And can you monitor that, Jim, and give us updates on a regular basis, or?
Yes, we can. Yep.
So we can start emailing people. We can start blasting right now with a link saying, go here to purchase tickets.
We could, yes. We were probably just getting it to make sure that we're all in the same cohesive messaging, like Joan spoke of. We were just going to maybe target after spring breaks.
Okay.
So that's really just another 2 weeks from.
We have not announced yet artists or any of that lineup yet, and we have not put that on the website yet. We've announced the event and we've described the event, but we haven't not put the specifics of who headliners and who the other entertainment group are going to be on, at the site. So we haven't promoted that portion of it yet. And once we lock all that in, I think that's a good time to do your press release and then also to put that push for sales.
Yes, and so that's about our 2-week plan. That's how I see that coming up in the next 2 weeks. We'll be ready for that. Does that sound? Yes.
Sounds overwhelming is what it sounds like.
Yeah. You know what? We just keep going, keep charging forward, Greg. Okay, so if we're complete with those sort of thoughts and discussions, I'd like to bring up our second topic today, which is new for the committee, and this is to discuss possible ARPA funding for the fine arts community. So we have still money set aside in our ARPA funds for the county. And we would like to hear opinions from the members of the committees about the possibility of using ARPA funds for new ideas, initiatives, and projects. So what distinguishes this from maybe the way other ARPA funds are used is we're not looking to replace lost revenue or cover the cost of PPE, but instead to drive artistic expansion and development, and thereby economic development through new initiatives. So really what we want to do is just hear what you guys think of this idea. Nick can answer and address some questions just to explain how this falls under the ARPA guidelines and what our parameters are.
You can start with that just so and I'll come up here so everybody on the screen can see
Yes,
me.
that'd be great. Thank you,
So,
Nick.
yes, so Chair LaPlante and staff, including all of our kind of ARPA experts here at the county, we've talked several times, sat down once, and we think this program would meet several facets of the ARPA requirements. You've got addressing negative economic impacts, obviously, with that community. Within that subcategories, aid to unemployed workers, job training, supportive tourism. I think that's woven in there. And then you also have serving the hardest hit communities. So I think it checks a lot of boxes in there, and we are comfortable. There are not many of them, but there are other programs throughout the country that are similar. And I think that it would have no problem meeting the requirements. You just have to figure out the program that you would like to do. The funding level right now, unallocated ARPA money is right around 30 million. Obviously, you're probably looking at a portal type of scenario, probably with
Here we
the
go again.
assistance of our good friend Greg here.
Great.
And
What
so
else would you be
it would definitely be a scoring system. So you'd have to figure out the criteria you'd like. You know, you're talking the funding level, total funding level, the per program funding level, the criteria, what you're trying to encourage. Are you, obviously, and it was a lot of back and forth coming to the expansion of this sector. And it seemed like the best fit, the best final outcome. But there's a lot of decisions and there's no rush necessarily to do it. You can take your time, come up with something, and then we can push it out. And I think it'd be a fairly innovative idea.
Thank you so much, Nick. Yeah, I loved these discussions, and I find them really, really invigorating because there's no limit to what we can kind of do here, aside from what funds are available. What I mean is we're limited just to what wonderful ideas are brought forth. And yes, we would be using the same Choose DuPage portal. That was
I make a
so
motion to deny this request. I'm joking.
absolutely,
For the record,
as
joking.
chair, I say denied. So you're
Can't
stuck
wait.
with us. No, you're stuck with us. And I do think, it was so successful with the business ARPA funds, and that why reinvent the wheel? I think that would be a really wonderful way to do it. Beth, you have your hand raised.
So I just had a question. So we would be giving money to artists?
So that's the idea, is to be very direct with this. And so, based on their ideas. So not just, hey, I had a really rough couple of years, like everyone in the arts, but I've always wanted to, now don't steal this idea, have pink elephants at the town square in every single municipality in DuPage County.
That's what I was saying, like capital projects are
Right.
eligible.
From what anything would go on this one. I mean, the limit is the ideas that come in, and then you as a group have to then rate those ideas. Where do you want to push this to? Are you, adding, somebody comes in and they do a program for an underserved community or a community that maybe a low income community. I mean, it just, you hit like every box you possibly can in ARPA. So there's a lot of different ways this can go.
So
Yes.
Chairwoman LaPlante and I
Yes.
talked about, there was a Route 66 grant that was sent out, and I was trying so hard to get my hands on that but we have such little product in Willowbrook. Chicago got the lion's share of it. They're going to put an arch over either Wabash or Michigan Avenue that says the starting point for Route 66, which I think is a really great idea.
Yeah.
But they took the majority of that $3.5 million. So we had talked about,
Yeah.
could we create murals along that, or wayfinding signs, or Burridge just built, and I think it is on the DuPage County side. They renovated their, that park. Harvester Park, thank you. I'm like, John Deere, I was almost there. So they have a Route 66 theme. So again, families that are coming down the route do something like that. So we were talking about
Yes.
murals. I
Yeah.
don't, just some ideas, throwing
Well,
them
that's
out.
just it. Like, it could be public art.
Pink
it could
elephants.
be- Yes. It could be public art. It could be, I've already had some high level discussions with very established organizations that have the idea to come here and bring a revenue producing event that would really drive tourism, economic development, and using ARPA funds to help set that up. So it would be a public-private partnership that we could work with the county and with these other institutions that see DuPage County as an amazing destination to draw people in for maybe a multi-day festival. So there is really, again, we're limited by simply imagination, which is limitless. So I think I would love to hear what everyone on the committee thinks about this. Yes, Member Solomon.
I love this idea. First
Yay.
of all, I think it's incredibly creative. I wonder if it might be worth asking Member Chavez when she's back to check back in with the folks that presented at NACO, because I wonder if we can
Yes.
steal some ideas,
Okay.
borrow some ideas. And I think it's really important to remember, we had a proclamation sometime in the last year celebrating the arts. And the one line from that proclamation that lives in my brain is how over 40% of the economic activity in our county has a connection to the arts.
Yep.
So I think, we're hitting businesses, we're hitting the tourism industry. Now we're hitting this. I feel like we have a really well-rounded economic plan.
I do too.
The public art point I wanted to write down, because we've talked in previous meetings about maybe murals in the different districts.
Yep.
So maybe that's something that could be incorporated.
Mhm.
For the committee idea of having, the committee to evaluate it, I like mirroring it to the one we just did with HHS and the DuPage Foundation, where the chair of that committee, member Renahan, is on the committee. Like, I think it'd be really important that you, for example, be on this committee.
Right, of course.
And I just generally like the idea that we're not telling these businesses, here's a way you could be creative, here's a way you could do something. It's a lot. I mean, DuPage County's asset is our human capital. It's how educated
That's
and
right.
brilliant and hardworking our residents are. So this is just us giving them the tools to do their own brilliance. So I
That's
think it's really
exactly
smart. I really like it.
Wonderful. Thank you for that. Thank you. Yes, Member Hart.
Yeah, no, I would agree. And I think we have a number of successful models to look back on the last 2 years. I love the public art idea. That's something I've
Yeah.
rang the bell on a couple times in this meeting. Just food for thought in terms of where we go forward to the grant recipients and who can be eligible. I think that's something we should definitely look at,
Okay.
whether it's organizations, individuals, or
Right.
some mix of both. But no, I think I'm definitely supportive of the idea.
Okay, great. Thank you. Thank you. Member Rutledge.
Yeah, I love the idea too. I think that, as a county, we're gratefully focused on business here. And this is a part that's missing for, drawing people to our county. I love the public art idea. Let's turn it into, Cows on Parade, it was like, which one do you want to vote for? And
I
that gets
know.
people to
It
each of our
does.
six
It
districts.
does.
So I think putting a little competitive element to that
I'm always
will
down
help
for that.
drive people.
I
Yes.
liked at the Andy Warhol, the students that designed the t-shirts and we all voted.
Exactly.
I thought that was really brilliant.
Mhm.
And afterwards, boy, we could shake DuPage County up here, but we talked about a pop parade. And maybe it can be,
A what
down-
parade?
a pop culture
like
parade.
Andy
Oh, like an Andy Warhol.
A pop parade.
A pop parade. No, that'll come a little later though.
You know those artists.
Way too old for pop.
That's just what you think. See?
No, the demographic is older than you think.
Yeah.
But I actually worked for Lois Weisberg during the Cows on Parade. And I thought that was, she didn't, it was great. Yeah. So I agree with that.
Yeah,
That's kind of
yeah.
really, and you create a digital passport to get you to go around and.
Right.
Yeah. There's so many ways to tie into it, I think, and to get people involved and make it really interactive, not just a static or flat event, but to be much, draw people in, make art a verb, right? Instead of just this passive experience that happens elsewhere. Did you have something to say?
Who me? No, I agree.
Oh, was you? Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
So are we thinking about trying to flesh this out or after the festival, right?
Correct.
We kind of want to use the festival to gather ideas.
That's
to inform
exactly
this?
right.
Okay, good.
That's exactly right. So in terms of timeline, obviously it's going to be all hands on deck and all focused on the DuPage Community Arts Festival. And then when we prove what a call for this sort of thing there is, and we can say, okay, great, now let's move it to the next level. And then I think that would be our next sort of initiative as a committee. And I already have people who are asking, I'd love to come and pitch it and describe what it is that we're hoping to do, or that we'd love to be able to do in DuPage County. So I think there won't be any shortage of good ideas and people ready, willing, and able to, play ball with us. That was a really mixed metaphor. I regret it already. But you know what I mean. I think you all get what I mean. So it sounds like everyone on the committee is for it, which is wonderful. How about any of our partners from our different organizations? What do you think? And of course, that means you too, Greg, since you're going to be very involved in this, and Beth as well. Don't all speak at once, but I will ask
One at
Shannon.
a
You are the
time.
next contestant. What do you think?
I think it's fantastic. I think it's like kind of a long time coming. Like you said earlier, our county's got incredible ideas. We've got incredible people that are here, and to really create something where we, not only all the towns can get together, but the artists and the artist community can kind of show them what we got. So I think it's fantastic. Well done.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you, Shannon. Terry or Barb, any thoughts?
I would just say, I think it's a great idea. And I think right now we're on the cusp of getting people to come to DuPage County. People don't want to go to the city like they used to. So right now is really the time to really get people coming here and seeing the arts that we have available.
Yeah.
Because we have it right here in our own backyard, and we need to show beyond just DuPage County that we have it.
That's
So
right.
I think it's great.
Okay, great. Thank you.
And I would agree with Barb. We really have great resources in DuPage, and we just need to focus and bring them to the forefront.
Wonderful. Thanks, Terry. So all sounds really good. So maybe just a show of hands that will move this conversation forward as we keep going. Okay, fantastic. Great. Does anyone have any old business that they would like to discuss? New business? I mean, this is all new business. The whole point of this committee is new business, right? Okay, with nothing further, then I adjourn this meeting until our next one. We might be picking the pace up a little bit as we're getting closer. So we might do like maybe twice a month instead of once a month. So it's possible that our next meeting will be in 2 weeks. You'll hear from us as soon as possible. But with all in favor of adjourning?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? No? Okay, thank you, everyone. Thank you for joining us. Thank you.
Thanks, Barb. Good to see you.